Welcome to Hidden Treasures, where we tell stories of lost treasure, lost caves, lost mines, and any stories that I find interesting, and hopefully you do too. Today we're talking about the lost treasure of Thomas Veale. In 1658, a black ship with no flag docked at Flynn Harbor, just north of Boston. The locals in Lynn that saw this ship thought that they were about to be invaded by pirates. But what they saw was 4 men loading up a chest, carrying this chest down, putting it into a small boat, getting in the boat, and then rowing the boat up the Saugus River. The next morning, as workers arrived at Saugus Iron Works, they found a note nailed to the door. The note said that they needed supplies. The supplies that these men needed were hatchets, shovels, shackles, and then other just standard random tools. The note also said that these tools needed to be dropped off at a secret location, and if the ironworkers went through with this, then they would be paid handsomely in silver. The ironworkers thought that they might as well go through with this because even if they prepared these things, eventually they would sell them anyway, so they went ahead with it. So these iron workers went ahead, made all of these tools, and they went and met these men at this secret location, and later on they were actually paid handsomely in silver. However, the locals knew that these people were there. They were the interest of the town at the time, and it wasn't long before the secret location wasn't secret anymore. These 4 men and actually 1 woman that was with them had made shelter and were living at Pirates Glen. So the locals knew exactly where these pirates were. They also knew that they had carried this chest up there and that there was most likely a lot of stolen treasure in this chest. Once the rumor mill started and everything got out, the British authorities in the area were also very interested to find out that these pirates were living there. It wasn't long before the authorities went up to Pirates Glen. They found out that the woman had actually passed away recently because of an illness, and that there were only 3 men there. One of them, Thomas Veale, had escaped. They also didn't find the treasure chest, and none of the 3 men were talking. The 3 men were loaded up on a ship, sent back to England to pay for their crimes, which was to be hanged. Thomas Veale had escaped with the treasure, and he hid out in a cave that was very near where they had been, but this cave was very hidden. This cave is located at present-day Dungeon Rock. He was actually able to stay in this cave hidden out for a little while, but later that year disaster struck. A major earthquake hit the area, causing the cave to completely collapse, trapping Veale and the treasure inside the cave. Once this cave had collapsed on Veale, killing him and burying the treasure, there was really no way for anybody to dig down and get in there until later on in 1852. In 1852, a man named Hiram Marble purchased the area around Dungeon Cave. He was a very spiritual man, and he had a little community of people around him, and they all believed that he could actually communicate with ghosts, and that people in this community could communicate with ghosts. He believed that he could actually communicate directly with Thomas Veale and actually get information from the ghost of Thomas Veale to dig down and find this treasure. So that's exactly what he did for the next 30 years. He claimed to speak directly to Thomas Veale, the ghost of Thomas Veale, and get directions while he was digging through this cave of where to go to find this treasure. However, this cave was completely rock and was painstakingly difficult to dig through. Over the course of 30 years, they actually only dug 135 feet. They were digging at a rate of about 1 foot per month. The 135 feet was not actually 135 feet straight in any particular direction, because he was getting directions from a ghost. So it was kind of this way and then this way, and it was just kind of all over the place. He also at this time had his son Edwin helping him dig. But after all of this time, after this 30 years of digging through this cave and only getting 135 feet, they ran out of money. They actually opened up the cave to tourists and let people come in for about 25 cents. They could come in, and this funded further digging. Sadly, in 1868, Hiram died, and his son took on leadership role and continued to dig out this cave. There are no reports as to whether Edwin could talk to ghosts, where he was getting his directions from, so maybe it's hereditary, but most likely he was just aimlessly digging in this cave trying to find this lost treasure. Sadly, in 1880, Edwin died and nobody carried on the torch, so digging stopped. Legend has it that treasure chest that Thomas Veale took down there with him is still buried there today. But this cave is still there. Dungeon Cave is still there. The property is owned by the city. No digging is allowed, but you can go on tours and you can explore this area and learn about this history. I hope you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to like, leave comments, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.